them make more than $50,000 a year and are choosing not to buy insurance. We need to figure out how to get them into the system without just giving them insurance. A third of them are eligible for Medicaid, but it's not worth their time to go in and sign up because they can just go to the ER anytime they want, and it's not worth signing up for. So we actually have 100% access for emergency care, and that's important to remember. We don't for organ transplant, but we do at least for emergency care. A third, or 20% of those 46 million, are not citizens. So we're driving the debate with a lot of people that there might be some other solutions. But the other half of the equation is expense, and I think expense truly is a problem. I have a $5,000 deductible, but my insurance goes up 17% a year. And I was telling Frank that if I have a heart attack tonight from all the stress of this, and I survive, my health insurance will probably double.
You'll just sue me.
Yeah, I'll probably sue you too, particularly if there's any slip and fall. But my health insurance will double because I have a 1-year plan. But contrast that with my term life insurance. I have a 20-year term life insurance plan. If I have a heart attack and survive, my rate's the same. It's going up because of my age, but it's just going up gradually. We need to make health insurance more like term life insurance. What that will help with is pre-existing conditions. It will help with cost. And if we can convince people to buy 20-year contracts when they're 20 and young, maybe, I haven't drank my 4 gallons of alcohol and need my liver yet, so when I'm 35, I will have a 20-year plan. I may be able to get my liver transplant. It's not maybe the ultimate answer, but it's part of the answer, because I think what we should do is say, how well is government doing what they're doing now? Do we want more of government or less of government? How good a job did FEMA do at distributing water last year at the Superdome? Do we want the head of FEMA to be in charge of Health and Human Services? So government doesn't do a very good job at distributing products. So maybe we want to think about how can we get capitalism involved. Capitalism works in so much of our economy. Why do we have to immediately say there couldn't be capitalism in healthcare? One of the things I've talked about, and this may be counterintuitive and people may not want to hear it, but a $2,000 Medicare deductible would solve a huge amount of problems. People say, oh, what would the poor people do? Well, maybe we could keep the poor people at $100. That's where they are now. But maybe most of the rest of the public should be at $2,000. The trade-off would be that our prices would free up. Now, Mike charges a lot more, probably. It takes him more work to do a liver transplant, to do a cataract. I was done in 15 minutes today. So I probably should make less than he does for a liver transplant. But the thing is, all my fees would be under $2,000. But then the price would open up. If people were paying cash, we'd get rid of price controls. Same way with my office exam. And now Mike's office exam and every doctor's office exam would open up, and they'd come in and they'd pay cash. You wouldn't have to file their insurance. But instead of maybe $140 for mine, it might be $90 or something, because there might be some price competition. So there might be some benefit to the consumer. The other thing about having higher deductibles is the higher deductible, the lower your premium. And so there are advantages, and I think that we as Republicans need to, instead of just harping about how bad Obama plan is, which we should, we need to have a vision and present something for what can we say, what would we do for healthcare. And we can't just stick our head in the sand and say, well, it's too bad you have a pre-existing condition, or it's too bad you don't have insurance, or too bad you can't get your liver transplant. We need to have an answer, but we need to just say maybe the answer isn't more government, maybe there's an answer that brings the marketplace into medicine, and maybe there are a few exceptional things that are so expensive that we might have to help people with. But let's try to, for the vast majority, 90-95% of medicine's elective. Let's try to bring the marketplace into that, and for the special instance, Medicare prescription drugs. Most senior citizens pay more to eat out in restaurants than for their drugs. But what they hit you with is the one who pays for anti-transplant drugs or whatever is paying $4,000 a year, and they're poor and they can't afford it. But that's not the average. The average is under $800 a year. So let's look at the averages and work on the exceptions instead of making the rule. We have to have government plan for everybody. Well, let's try to help those who may be in need and help, and try to let the marketplace work for the rest. I think I've already gone on too long, and I could go on longer. But anyway, thank you very much for coming out tonight. I'm happy to take questions either now or on a personal basis, however you'd like to do it. Thank you very much.